I escaped Minecraft's hardest prison, the sus prison. joelheath24 trapped me in this prison and I had to escape, and I did it. So let's see how I pulled it off. So I spawned in a bedrock box, and immediately after looking around for a while, I found an iron bar in the top corner, and then I turned around and I found a furnace. There was nothing inside it when I opened it, and so then I decided to try and break the iron bar. This took a while, but when I finished it, I found absolutely nothing. I did try turning up my field of vision, but I still couldn't see anything. So then I tried to break the furnace and see if there was anything underneath it, and to my surprise, there was. I found a hopper. It contained an ender pearl, so I quickly broke the hopper just to check there was nothing else inside, and then I threw the ender pearl to get out of the box. I turned the corner and there was another iron bar, so I had to break that, and then I had a look around. I couldn't find a way to get up from this platform onto the platform above. But then I had a brilliant idea. I jumped into the lava to light myself on fire, and then used the fire damage to boost myself onto the platform above. Then I took a look around to see what I had to work with. There were a group of guards watching me above, but I couldn't work out how to get up to them. But then I saw something a little bit suspicious about this painting. I jumped into it and my suspicions were correct. There was a hidden room behind it that had a hopper and a furnace underneath it. The hopper contained 3 raw iron, and so I worked out that I needed to smelt the 3 iron using the signs that were holding up the painting. So I put the signs and the copper into the furnace to smelt my copper. While it was smelting, I tried to mine the hopper. I took out my copper and also my signs, but I had no idea what to use my 3 copper ingots on, so I broke the furnace to see if there was anything underneath that too. Turns out there was a crafting table underneath the furnace. I had no idea what I was supposed to craft with my 3 copper, but then I had a genius idea. With 3 copper, you can craft 1 lightning rod, which I used to get up to the guards. I then had the pleasure of breaking yet another iron bar, followed by another one. Then I walked into the guards room and beat up all the guards and stole their vehicles. Because I had a brilliant idea. If I used all 4 of the boats to jump over the lava, I could make it to the other side. But it would require immense skill and precision. Luckily, I'm a parkour pro, so I pulled it off. Then I walked over to the next room, but I was boxed in and couldn't move anywhere. I could see the exit, but I still had no idea where to go. But then I had a very good idea. I used F5. See, using F5 gave me a whole new perspective, and I was able to see a chest I couldn't have seen before. I opened the chest and it contained 1 oak trapdoor, and I instantly knew what I needed to do. I placed the trapdoor, walked underneath it and flipped it to put myself into cool mode, and jumped out as soon as I closed it to escape the box. I then broke the trapdoor to bring it with me, and then I did the same with the chest. I looked around and saw where I needed to go, so I placed my chest and trapdoor in order to just make the jump over there. I opened the chest and found a bow. But then when I turned around, I saw a hidden room underneath the platform I had just been standing on. I broke the chest to use it for resources, and there was a hopper hidden underneath. It had a stone button in it, but I had no idea what to use it for. So then I broke the hopper to see if there was anything underneath it. Before I left, I tried to flick this lever, but nothing happened, so I jumped over to this secret room underneath. I placed a chest to get my way down there so that I wouldn't take too much fall damage. Then I realised I had to make this massive jump. It looked too far, but I suspected that there were probably slime blocks under the carpets, and there were. I opened the chest and it had 1 arrow, probably for my bow. I then looked at the wall and noticed a really suspicious looking block. I broke the chest for blocks for later on, and then I placed my button on the wall and clicked it. I heard the sound of things moving, so I'm pretty sure I did the right thing. I then dropped down and realised I took fall damage, which meant that there was only 1 slime block under those carpets, and I just happened to hit it because I'm a parkour pro. I I picked up all the carpets in the slime block and bridged my way back up. Once I climbed back up, I did look around for a little, but I couldn't find anything else to do. So I jumped back over to where the lever was and tried flicking it to see if the button changed anything. And to my surprise, it did. So I went for the jump and I made it first try. Then I got to the other side and I realised I needed to hit that target block on top of the platform I started on. So I aimed right at the centre of the target block, adjusted up for the drop of the arrow, and shot my only arrow. And I hit it. Before leaving, I decided to do a little check and I found a hidden hopper. So I used the chest I had in my inventory to hop up and check what was inside it. There was a lever, so I brought that along with me as well as the chest. And then parkoured my way all the way back. And I was about to go back to the start island, but I thought it would be wise to take this lever with me. Once I got back, I checked the chain of hoppers and found an ender pearl. So I scrolled to it, aimed at the right place, jumped and threw the pearl, and almost died of full damage. But because of my immense skill, I didn't. And with that, I had almost finished. I climbed up the stairs, but then there was a 2-block high jump. Luckily, I still had my chest on me, so I placed it and jumped up. All that was left to do now was to place the 2 levers that I saved, and the door opened, so I escaped the prison.